Hello, welcome back to Making Sense of It All. We've been running these videos with an aim to try and help us figure out how we can, I suppose, make sense of what's happening in the world at the moment. So much is changing, still so much is unknown. And like we said in our first video, by going back to the things that don't change, our faith, our church, we can find ways to make the best of our situation, to find hope and to be positive. Just heard, obviously, there's going to be another 3 weeks of lockdown. More of the same. And now people are starting to realise what it's actually like. How each day kind of merges into one, how people are starting to find a new kind of normal. But this week particularly we're going to talk about how we keep in touch with others, because if you're like me, you spent a lot of time on video chats, in video conferences, doing online quizzes, and it's great. In fact, it's amazing, because I've spoke to people in my family and my friends who I've not seen or spoke to in months, and probably wouldn't have done had we not been able to see each other. I'm almost closer to people now because I'm further away. But I think sometimes we get a bit bogged down, and I know we're certainly in our household getting booked up with quizzes and video chats, and I think we sometimes then forget the other ways in which we can keep in touch. But again, let's go back to what happened in the Bible, because remember, we're in Eastertide. We're thinking about the time where Jesus appeared to the disciples, and they had a story to tell. They had a message to give to other people, and it was a message of joy. So maybe this week we can make sense of it all by finding different ways to get in touch, not just by having a video chat or a video call. First one, write a letter. Now, St. Paul did this very, very well. He wrote a letter to various places because he couldn't be there in person. And there was something about getting a letter or something in the post or something physical that I think makes a real difference. We've received some lovely letters and cards for various things. I know we've done our best to try and send them to other people as well. So maybe one thing you can do this week is write a letter. It's good enough for St. Paul. It's good enough for us. And it might help you be present and reach out to someone in a different way. And especially if it's someone who can't access the video technology. An elderly relative, for example, someone who doesn't have access to a computer. Write them a letter. Make their day by keeping in touch. Second of all, walk the road with other people. Now, obviously, we can't be close to each other, physically close to each other. We need to socially distance, and that's really, really important. But when you look at the story of Paul, he also had a very interesting journey. He met Jesus, in fact, for the first time on the road to Damascus. When you're out on your journeys, try and think about how you can continue to meet people on your roads. Maybe it's by giving a wave or a smile. Maybe it's about kind of wishing all the best and wishing kind of happy things to the people we meet on the street. Obviously, we're going to stay distant, but it doesn't mean we can't keep in touch by meeting the people we meet on our daily exercise as we're heading out and about and around our community. So the last thing you can do to keep in touch is to give and be generous, not just in your time but in your things. I was in Tesco's today doing our weekly shop, and I noticed that the collections for the local food bank, they're usually full up, they're empty at the moment. And I think obviously it's because people are worrying about their families and feeding their families, and of course we have to. But I think it's also at times like this that our generosity is even more important. One of our trustees is helping out a local food bank. Our mystery minute the other day was from outside a local community centre, which is set up to feed and help those people who need it the most at the moment, because they're still there and they're still going unforgotten, still going unremembered, and we can still be there and be generous. So get online. Find a way to donate food or donate resources or time to make masks or to make PPE. A friend of mine has got a 3D printer at the school where they work, and so they're printing the holders and getting acetate and making protective masks to donate to the NHS. There's so much we can do to connect and to be there for people, even though we can't be there with people. That again, it gives us hope, it gives us purpose, and it puts our faith into action. In the letter of St. James, he says, "Faith without works is dead." What good is it to see someone who is in need and say, "Oh, I hope you get better"? No, you should do something about it. If you read that piece of scripture, it tells us exactly how to make sense of it all right now. Do something about the situation we're in. Be there for other people. Reach out, show love, and bring Christ to others. And that way we're truly, truly embracing the Easter spirit. We look forward to seeing you soon.